Susan Barton, the developer of the Barton Reading and Spelling System, and I'd like to let you know how effective Foundation in Sounds is. I've used it myself with some really tough students, and it works like a charm. Let me share an example. I'm always tutoring one student, an adult, for free because I love tutoring. I'd rather tutor than run the company, but somebody's got to run the company. And when I was looking for my last adult student, so were several employees of my companies needing a new student. So I put out my feelers around San Jose, asking people if you know adults who are struggling with reading, writing, spelling, and could come in for tutoring during business hours, during a weekday, let me know. We're looking for some students. And I went out and met one woman who was recommended. And it turns out she was a really tough student. English was not her primary language. She was actually born in Morocco. So Arabic was her primary language. I didn't know whether she was dyslexic or not. She actually dropped out of school in 8th grade because school was hard and she didn't do well. They didn't do any type of testing on her. Eventually she got married to an engineer and they immigrated to Canada. And then eventually they immigrated to Silicon Valley. And that's where we have lots of engineers here. And she'd been here for quite a while. She was about 50. She spoke English flawlessly. So she'd been here for about 30 years. She was a naturalized citizen. And she had 3 children of her own. But her husband had died a few years back. So she was actually a widow with 3 children, one in high school, one out of high school, one starting college. And she couldn't get a regular job because she couldn't read, write, and spell. And she had tried everything. She had gone to several adult literacy programs and tried having a tutor that did not use the right type of approach work with her, and it didn't work. She had enrolled in junior colleges, but because she couldn't pass her English entrance exam, she had to take bonehead English. She'd taken it several times and never been able to pass. And after a few sessions in that class, an instructor would come up and say, you know, you're not doing well in that class. Do you want to drop it so that I don't have to fail you? And she did have a job. She was earning income, but as a nanny to CEOs and CFOs. And she said, I'm so tired of taking care of children. I have 3 of my own. And I'm taking care of other people's children. I know I can do more of that. I really, really need a desk job because I'm getting older. My back is getting hurt by picking up all these babies. And I really, really, really want to use my mind and more than just people skills, taking care of children skills. But I can't read, write, and spell. Can you help me? And I said, well, let's find out. So I gave her the Barton student screening. And she badly failed every single part of it. She failed part A, she failed part B, and after giving her like 6 items on part C, I just stopped. And I knew she was too hard for one of my staff and she was going to be my student. Now, I could have worked with her with the LIPS program. I'm trained in LIPS. I used it professionally for years. I know it very, very well. But I wanted to see, is Foundation in Sounds really effective with a really tough student like this? So I used it with her, and I was thrilled. As you may know, there are 12 scripted lessons with 12 activities for each lesson, and it's designed to get kids and adult students ready for the Barton system, and it worked like a charm, and it was so much easier for me to teach and so much easier for my student to learn that, frankly, I will never use the LIPS program again. That's how effective it is.